Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking Blushing Betty from Ghost River Brewing Company out of Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. Thanks for checking out this video. There's Andy in the attic. There's Jay. I'm Ben. What are we drinking tonight?
Blushing Betty. It's a cherry sour ale out of Memphis. Ghost River Brewing. I didn't know they had that many breweries in Memphis.
I have a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I've never been a tremendous fan of the breweries there, though. Oh, this has some great carbonation.
You know, I hate to say this ahead of the beer, but so far, yeah, the Memphis breweries have not been overly exciting.
I do
But
like
maybe
a
this
can
one-
art, though. That's kind of cool, and it's a cherry sour ale, so maybe it's something appealing. And I've never had
Maybe
Ghost
this-
River, so I
Never
guess
had
I
Ghost River.
shouldn't judge.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
here you go. Cheers,
Cheers,
mates.
mates.
Blushing Betty is cherry sour ale, specifically a Flemish red ale. 5.25%. They describe it as being sweet and sour, like grandma's tart cherry pie. It is made with tart cherry juice, actually. All I could find on this. So I looked up any references to Blushing Betty because I was not familiar with the name. I didn't know if it had to do something with a person, the brewery, like that. So the top two things I could find is a dessert. It is a pudding or a crisp with a layer of cooked fruit, usually rhubarb or berries, and it's topped with cake or breadcrumb mixture. Blushing, they call it blushing because that's the color of it, the fruit mixed in and all. Or it could be a drink of pink grapefruit juice, simple syrup, and bourbon, which might not be too bad, actually.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kind of like a Manhattan, but instead
a little grapefruit.
doing the grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Manhattan.
Old fashioned.
Old fashioned. Yeah, pardon me.
Yeah.
Old fashioned.
I knew what you meant.
This is, and I have to do a little side story on this. You can't believe all your AI searches. Because I did Google AI search for why does Ghost River Brewing Company call their beer Blushing Betty? And the first thing I got, it told me that Blushing Betty is another name of a freshwater jellyfish that is found at the Ghost River right there at Memphis that feeds into. And I was like, wait, and I was at work, so I wasn't writing this down. I just let that sit on my phone. And then when I got home later that evening, I went to look it up, and that was gone off of my site. I was like, and so I started searching. It's like, wait, that was kind of interesting. I think this would be fascinating to talk about. And so I was like, what jellyfish is known as the Blushing Betty? And everything is, there is no jellyfish known as Blushing Betty. It's something like a pink sunrise or something like that. It was something that, and there are no jellyfish at, Memphis, Tennessee and stuff like that. And there's no beer, Blushing Betty is not referring to a jellyfish. Can't trust every AI search that you do.
That's the first one I've heard that you can't. So
yeah,
first time.
So
I think it's also a weapon system or a gun or an airplane. I can't remember.
They would have the bouncing
I think I
Betty
saw that.
that were the trip triggered.
Those were the mines, yeah, the
Yeah.
bouncing Betties. But I think there was another one a long time back that was like a blushing Betty. I could be wrong though.
You play enough Call of
But
Duty World War
I
II.
don't do that at all.
No, I'm saying if you play enough, you know the bouncing Betties were big.
so Ghost River Brewing Company. This is our very first one to have from Ghost River, Memphis, Tennessee. It's a microbrewery founded in 2007. They were Memphis's first craft brewery. It's named after the actual Ghost River. Well, if you search for the Ghost River in Memphis, you may not find an actual Ghost River, but it does exist. It is a powerful hidden current that is created by a deep channel of the Wolf River. Wolf River is very real, and it runs through the north side of Memphis, feeds in towards the Mississippi. And it provides water for the aquifers that they get that goes into the beer at Ghost River. There is a Ghost River like natural area where it's very popular because it's very slow moving on the top. The current of the Ghost River is deep underneath, but the top is very slow. And it's popular with kayakers, paddleboarders, things like that. But there's like a Ghost River something SNA, something natural area, state natural area. I think that's what they call it. So pretty cool. And
So it's a
hence,
protected area?
yeah. And that makes sense with, the tree. Looks like a cypress, bald cypress, because you see the little knobs. Little knobs. There's Betty, just swinging. That's about all I got to say about that.
All right. Other than me, who's had this one before?
I've had it. I had it on draft.
Oh. Well, then look at that. Guess who's up?
Wow.
Not because I picked you, but because default.
Yes. Yeah, well, I think one of you is telling a lie. You didn't log this if you had it, but I get it. So
which one? If you're referring to me, I don't log everything. So
yeah, I assume that you probably had the
modus operandi.
Memphis beer. You guys are closer and probably get distribution from there. This is an interesting beer. The description, as Andy said, kind of a sweet and sour. You can see that a little bit. It's got a little bit of tartness to it, but it's not overpowering. It's not blowing me away by any means. Cherry comes through like we talked about. It's all cherry and maybe a little bit, I don't want to say acidic, but there's something else I can't put my finger on. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's an all right sour for a Memphis brewery, and first time I've had a Ghost River, so I'd be interested in trying more of their beer.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, they've got what was their Golden Ale, Ghost River Golden Ale is not bad. It's just a easy drinking Golden Ale, and they have a decent Riverbank Red or a Red Ale.
Yeah, I don't get any distribution down here that I'm aware of, though, in Alabama.
Oh, maybe I'll have to pick some up and share. This is good, and I like that I had time to let it warm up a little bit to bring out more of the flavors. Because when I had it on draft, it was very cold, so you couldn't pick it up, but it was still good then, and it's good now. So, Grandma's cherry pie is really nice. It's coming through. It's tart and sweet. You get that. It does taste like they make it with cherry juice and not the actual cherries themselves. That's it. I'm gonna keep my score as 7.5 as I had it on draft. It's a good beer to.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely cherry. I think for me, it's a little bit more tart than sweet, but it's not the tart that grabs you in the back. Um, I think it's a fine beer. I mean, I don't. You're not having more than one of these. I don't think. At least I'm not. Probably in a sitting, because just of how much cherry it is. Uh, so I think though that from the Memphis breweries, Ghost River is probably my favorite. Um, to kind of Jay's point, there's none of them I think that I just love. But Ghost River is probably the one I like the best. Um, this one I think it's a fun beer. Um, but on the sour scale, it's not going to be one I necessarily have to reach for. I'm going to give it a 7. I enjoy it when I have it, but I'm not going to seek it out. Put it that way.
Kind of goes back to what we've talked about in the past. I mean, I don't know if it's Memphis or other certain areas, regions of the country or the world. We always talk about the German beers having great water. I always wonder about Memphis's water. Just a thought.
They've got the Wiseacre Brewing, which is pretty good. I'd have to toss up between Wiseacre and Ghost River. Then you've
Crosstown.
got Crosstown,
Yeah.
Grind City, Memphis Made. Trying to think of another. I think there's one more.
One or two more, yeah. But I think there may be something to that, Jay. Eh, it's kind of like you get. I don't know. None of their beers. When I think of Memphis breweries, and obviously we're extending the topic here a little bit, but none of them just like pop out to me like I've got to have that beer. There's not one in the Memphis collection that I'm seeking out to have, whether it's a certain seasonal or I go to the store and I see this beer. Most of the time, it's the opposite. If I see a Crosstown or I see a Ghost River or Wiseacre, it's like I'm okay not having it. I'll skip for something else, and that's just because it's not that they're bad. It's just they're not great, I guess,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So, or at least I haven't found a great one yet.
Well, here's to Memphis to try and produce it.
Yeah. That's going to be a 7.2 for the Blushing Betty from Ghost River Brewing Company out of Memphis. Definitely one. If you've had, let us know what you think about it. If you've had a Memphis beer that you absolutely love, let us know. We will go out and find it since we are close enough, and we will get it and review it. Love to hear that if you've got one. Check out links down below. We've got some Hopped Up Beer Review merch. We got a Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. Come say hey. We've got a Patreon, and we've got some other things down there that you can check out as well. And lastly, appreciate you making this far in this video. If you've done so, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, we would love it if you would consider doing that as well. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I've been. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Andrew.
Waiting on you. Always, as always.
There was lag.
Don't blame the lag.